Grand Rising, I'm Ron Usha and welcome to show number 15 on Conversation on Art, a show where friends get together to talk about their artwork, their creativity, and hopefully we can learn from each other and maybe even inspire each other. I'm joined as usual by my co-host Annie. Grand Rising, Annie.
Grand Rising, thank you for having me today. Thank you.
And today our guest is musician, singer, dancer, combiner of short film and piano, Angela. Grand Rising, Angela.
Grand Rising, Ran. Thanks for inviting.
Thank you very much. I met Angela in Bali where she was doing a show combining short film and music. But first off, Angela, can you please tell us what you're doing at the moment?
Well, I'm about to finish master degree studies. I decided to take this music research studies after I did my degree in music like 20 years ago. So yeah, now I'm into books and writing and reading and thinking and yeah, this is what I'm doing now, mostly.
Are you teaching as well at the moment?
Not really. Sometimes people ask me things and then I explain, if you can consider that teaching. But no, I'm just focusing on my things now, and yeah, that's all.
Well, as I said, I met Angela in Bali, and what she was doing was combining short films and the piano. And it was really extraordinary. I had never seen before how somebody combined using the strings on the piano in conjunction with short films. So Angela, could you please tell us about your interest in short films first and how you got the idea of making the sound to short films?
Well, actually, I never thought about that before, since someone like 15 years ago, someone in my hometown asked me, oh, we are doing some, there's some kind of cinematheque. I don't know how you call it in English. We call it filmotheque, like when you were those places where they screen like old movies. And they had a piano, and then they suggest, oh, would you like to do this? Oh, okay, why not? And at that time, actually, I already had started doing music for live theater performance. So I was kind of into interacting with the scene and with the action. And then I said, okay, yes, let's do it. And after that, I did like 2 films. And then 15 years later or 20 years later, I moved to Bali. And well, meanwhile, I was still doing live music for different kind of performances with dancers. And then when I moved to Bali, I found that wonderful place, Paradiso, which was a cinema. And then I saw the website, and then, oh, wow, they have a big screen, and wow, they have a grand piano. And actually, when there is a grand piano, things change, because it's not the same when you have just a keyboard, or you will see later why, no? And then I just contact them, and then I asked if they were interested in doing some performance of, maybe we could try once. And then I sent some videos, and then the guy in church at that time, Dan, he told me, oh yes, I actually was looking for this a long time ago, and this is a great idea, let's do it. So I started to do it, and the beginning, the idea was to do once, and let's see. And then I started doing like twice a month, and during 1.5 years. And yeah, that's the story. And then I stopped because I came back to Spain in March last year, and then I've been not doing these kind of things anymore. But I'm so happy that today it's like I come back, and yes.
So how did you get the idea of using the strings on the piano to make the sounds?
Well, I come from the world of classical music, and I was studying piano in the conservatory and everything. And then you also get in touch with contemporary music. And at that time, before I moved to Indonesia, I had a duet with friend, and he was into exploring inside the piano, and then of course me too. And then yeah, you realize that this is a big stage where you have like so many characters, and then also you have external things that you can use besides your fingers, and you realize that there are so many kind of sounds that you get from the piano. And yeah, this is real experimentation, and this is real research also into sound. So then yeah, when I started with the silent films, this is perfect for doing the atmospheres. Besides, you play the keys, and then you play chords and melodies and rhythms, then you can make effects. So when it's about a film where you have so many kind of things going on, you can try to sometimes you can represent what is happening, but sometimes you can do just things to make it blur, or yeah, the intentions can be many. No, but it's perfect. So I had already these ideas, and then I started exploring more what kind of sounds, and according to the films I was doing. And yeah.
How many times did you watch the film before you started thinking of sounds for particular scenes?
Too many. Yes, actually, yeah, I'm kind of obsessed with the synchronizing the even I know that there are so many possibilities, infinite possibilities to accompany one scene or one full film. But what for me is essential is that you have to memorize everything. You need to know when things are going to happen, so that you can synchronize. And sometimes even you can do it in advance, or either, no, if you want. So usually I watch it like first time, and then I realize, oh, is this possible? Do I like this film? Do I have ideas to make music for that film? And then okay, I watch it again, and then I take a paper, and then I do, okay, from the third second to the 15th second, there is this guy walking on the street, and then suddenly this other guy is waiting for him behind the corner, and whoa. And then I really memorize, and then I make the structure, and I practice it many times. Okay, today I'm just going to practice the first 10 minutes. So yeah, too many. But that's part of the funny thing also.
Did you leave space for improvising as well?
Yes, well, improvisation actually, we leave space for improvising, of course. But yeah, considering that actually there is when we play music, let's forget about the films. Let's say, okay, jazz player, yeah, piano jazz player. When they talk about improvisation, I'm not the great improviser. I don't play jazz, but when jazz players, they improvise, they don't improvise from out of nothing. No, it's, you learn things. It's like if I ask you, actually, could you improvise using the verbal language? Could you improvise some sentences? You can, right? Because you are used with the words. You did many combinations in your life, combining phrases. And if I tell you, can you improvise something in Russian? I'm sure you cannot. Well, I don't know if you speak Russian, no? So what I mean is that when you improvise music, actually you already know the language you are using. Either it's jazz or it's rock or whatever it is. You already know the language, and then you have many ideas that you practice many times and combining in different ways. And then in the moment of playing live, all those ideas come, and then you just choose and combine them. So there is improvisation because on the spot you are choosing, and it's going to be different compared to yesterday, but it's always improvising from something that you already work in. So when I do the music for the silent movies, of course I have ideas before, because I watch the film and then I decide. Usually, what I do is that I decide a few themes for the whole movie. If it's one full movie, like long movie, I decide a few ideas, like 2 or 3 main ideas, and then I work on improvisations on those ideas and making variations of those melodies. If it's a melody, I work on different kind of variations, like in different keys or in different registers, using different rhythms. And and then when I have all those ideas, I do the movie, and then in some moments, yes, I know that, okay, this is the moment when I already planned. I want to play that specific tune, okay? But then there are many places in between, the transitions between this and the next one, where you of course improvise, but always improvising, trying to improvise in using the same language, that in my case, the same language I have been using the rest of the movie, so that there is kind of coherence and some kind of unity, like later I remember the tune of that movie. It's because there is one tune that has been varied during the movie. So yeah, it's a mix. But the proof is that I have record my shows a few times, and then even it's the same movie, and then I watch it and it's totally different, because those ideas. So sometimes you recognize, oh, this is the same tune you played last week. Okay, yes, but in between, or I'm playing it in a different way. So it's half.
So because of that, then we could watch you do the same movie 2 different weeks, but it might have a completely different feel to it, depending what you bring to it on that particular occasion.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Of course. And sometimes actually this happens sometimes. I want to play something. I have a plan to play something, and then you cannot. Something else comes out, and you start playing a different thing, and then you think, oh, I did a mess because I didn't want to play, and then you listen to it, and okay, it was totally different. Actually, this that me playing this. I didn't think that I have those ideas on my mind. So yeah, it's different, and this is the funny thing. Of course, the images are going to be the same, but if the music is different, probably the meaning of the images, or what you feel with those images, is going to be different. And even for me, if I have been playing one kind of music for that scene, and then I want to move into the next, there's gonna be some kind of flow, that brings me to the next one. But if I play different thing, the flow is totally different. So it feels also different, and then I end up playing something totally different, and then it's
Because I think that way, then every show you do is always completely fresh. Because it's coming in that moment there. And like you said, if you play this sound, it will lead to a different sound depending on where you are.
Yes, even, yeah, of course, as I told you, because I like to synchronize things. There are things that are happening, some actions or some whatever, I don't know, like explosions. Suddenly there is an explosion, and I already have the effect I want for that explosion, or there is a plane or something that I already look for a specific effect for. Then of course I will play the same. Yeah, but in between, yeah, whatever can happen.
Because Annie and I were talking about this yesterday in regards to her artwork. And Anna, you were saying that you had a theme for the character, but now you know this theme, it allowed you to now go in different directions because you knew the character so well, which is why you drew it in that way.
Absolutely. So this really makes sense, Angela. Listening to you, I never thought of the synchronicities and the complexities of playing, you know, to the movie, the silent movie, because you're so right. If I watch something on TV and the voice recording is out of sync with the mouth, it completely throws it. It doesn't matter how much you're still watching it, you think, oh my God, I know what they're saying, but how intricate that must be. And when you were speaking, it made me think of going to watch a play, because when actors, they're never going to be exactly the same for every single performance. So yeah, how wonderful that must be when you listen to it and watch it and you think, oh wow, yeah, that's different. And I really like that. And I take my hat off to you, because I never again thought of with improvisation. I always thought, oh my God, they're thinking on their feet. They're just doing it like that. And I thought, no, you've really explained that. They practice. So they have a catalogue already of things, that they can, you yourself can, right, okay, so this needs that, I can. So yeah, thank you. That really opened, that up. It's like, wow, okay, this is quite a lot more, so much more into it than just, do some music and whatever. Wow, really fantastic.
Yeah. Actually, it's easier to improvise when you have practiced many things than when you don't. So, but yeah, it needs discipline and enjoying also, and then you get this catalog of which always comes anew, because you are learning new different kind of musics and listening to different things, and so this catalog usually is changing all the time. But yeah.
Because I think a lot of times, especially in acting, when you've learned the character, learn the scene so deeply, that when you're in the moment, it allows you to then go off in different directions, because you've taken it all in. You kind of become that character, and then you can just move where you want to. But first, you've done the homework, learning the lines, learning the scenes, learning the character, which then allows you to then go off in different directions.
Yeah. But this is exactly what you say, is, where do you want to go? You know what you want. And then what's the next scene or the next line. So even you forget the line, but if you know where do you want to go after, then you can manage. And well, in theater, actually, compared to, for example, classical music, it's easier, because nobody is gonna notice if you change one line, and instead of saying, I'm going to the supermarket, you say, well, to the supermarket I will go. No, I mean, in classical music it's complicated, well, because you have that score, and then if you mess up the note, and then and then it's not for sure that the audience is going to accept that you are changing the original score, no? But in the case of this kind of improvisations for the films that I do, it's exactly the same. If I forget what was the plan, that doesn't matter, because I know that I want to create that kind of atmosphere in here. And yeah.
Angela, can we look at how you create some of your sounds?
You mean look inside the piano?
Yes.
Okay.
See about making the different sounds and how you make them.
Yes, of course. Well, I will show you what we have in here. So I'm not sure. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So the piano is made of so many things. It's mostly made of wood, but we have all this frame to sustain the strings. So when we play a key, actually something very important is that we need, you know that in the bottom we have 3 pedals. So the right one does something. I don't know if you can see these things. These are the dampers. So when you actually just play one key, the damper goes up and then it goes down again, so it mutes the string, right? So when we push the right pedal, all the dampers go up all the time. So when you play the keys again, so of course they are not gonna stay forever because it's a string, and then after a while they are gonna. But if I do that, and then I suddenly lift my foot from the pedal, they stop, right? So when we explore inside the piano, it's very important that we all the time we have to push the pedal so that we can manipulate the strings and they will freely sound. So the simple thing that we can do as they are strings is to use them as if it was a guitar, for example, or any other string instrument. So we can just pluck. So this is one of the possibilities that it's always this always change the atmosphere when I do the music for the films. For me, changing the mood is really important, and playing with different kind of sounds and making contrast depending on what's going on. So when you're playing, suddenly you are playing here. So it's like you have another instrument, right? So it gives you a lot of possibilities. And then you can use like picks, different kind of picks, the soft ones, the hard ones, and the sound changes. I'm not sure you are going to appreciate it, but it's very different if I do this or if I do this. The sound is louder, and of course, and much louder. And this is one way of it's one direction of playing the strings, but not in these ones, but in the lower ones. We can also play them in that direction. Can you say it or not? I'm not sure. Yes. Oh, now. So, because here there's like 3 very thin strings for every key, but here we only have like 1 or 2 very thick, and then you can do things like this. And I don't know if you want to ask something, or may I continue? Because
Continue, please.
yes, okay. If any question, you just can ask me, and I will. Then, yeah, we can use mallets like this one. So when you want to create atmospheres, like there's a mystery moment or something is not clear, you just make just sounds. These mallets are different. Well, infinite possibilities. Do we have time?
Yes.
Maybe, because we could be like 3 hours. Well, yeah. Actually, this is the simplest thing, like just manipulating the strings in different ways. And then you saw that I also was hitting this frame. So everyone is kind of different, and of course you can do this or you can do this. And every piano is also a different story. So you can plan sounds in this piano, and then you go to the stage, and then the piano is another one, and then everything changes. Very, and why not? Just as an example.
Thank you, Angela.
Wow.
That is
Yeah.
extraordinary.
Well, I don't know what is it the sound like, but inside this piano it's fantastic. The resonance is amazing, and the clarity of every string also. And then when you have good amplification also, usually it responds very well, and you can more or less listen to what I'm listening in here. So yeah, you see the possibilities are plenty, and then you can combine like things in here. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Angela.
Oh, my pleasure.
Wow.
And Annie, what happened after the show in Bali was that Angela brought us around the table, around the piano, and she
Wow.
asked us to pick up a piece to hit the strings with. So we were able to try it out for ourselves. And I think that was why I think those who watched it came away with such a feeling. We were able to see it ourselves.
Experience it. I mean, Angela, that's amazing. You take piano playing to a totally different stratosphere. That is amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It's so complicated, but it's also very beautiful to watch you play because you're so you are the music, you become, more than just playing it, which is beautiful. I think that really resonates out of you. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'll never look at piano playing the same now. That's it. I'll expect every pianist that sort of dedication. Beautiful. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is actually, yeah, it is about practice, and especially when you want to coordinate with the keys, you need to practice many times. Okay, for example, I was doing something like, so I know that it's okay. It's four different movements. I push the key, and then next one is I hit the strings, and the third beat is I push the key again, and the fourth one is I do this glissando with the nails. So it's okay. I need to practice that many times, but after that, when you already get used to that, then you can improvise as well. And it doesn't matter if you hit the strings first or you do the glissando and then you change the order, and everything works actually. And actually, it gives variation and variety, so it's just about trying things and getting the coordination. I'm For me, I'm used to, yeah. Well, I'm also a dancer, so I'm used to coordinate things. And I had a duet with that friend I told you before, and we used to play when there was some master chamber music master coming to our school Musikeon in Valencia, and then we wanted to prepare some chamber music piece. So, okay, let's play four hands piano. He was a pianist. Well, he passed away 5 years ago, so that's why I'm talking. He was, and we decided to play. Um, I don't know if you heard about Stravinsky, the Rite of Spring. This piece, orchestral piece, which is classical music, but it's already from the 20th century. So it's like a mad story for 40 minutes with full orchestra and crazy rhythms and crazy harmonies and also many effects inside. So there is a transcription for four hands piano. So we decided to make that. And then, but when we were playing, it's like, wow, man, I'm missing that rhythm that the snare is doing. Let's do it. Just hit on the bottom of the piano. Okay, I will do it. And then after that, we started to think about different kind of which things we could add to that transcription, because we were missing so many things. So in the end, we end up with a full drum set around the piano, and we were playing it with our feet and using also mallets. So we had some place here to put the mallets, and so we were playing, and then you were using the mallet to play the bass drum or the cymbals or whatever, and then you put it again, and then you continue playing, and then play again, and so we developed like a lot of coordination for doing this kind of things. Now for me, I'm used to combine my hands playing the keys and the strings or doing whatever movement. Yeah, in this case we could play flamenco. I don't know. Just kidding. But it's about practicing, actually. When people talk about, oh, you have talent and you're a genius, I don't believe that there is this such a things like geniuses or people with talent. I think that, yeah, when you are born, of course there can happen some things that probably make you become more curious, for example. And then, I don't know, for example, simple things. You're a baby, and then there is kind of an insect somewhere, and then you cannot find it anymore. And then, oh, what is it? What is it? And then from that small thing, your brain changes totally, and then you start becoming curious again with every kind of insect, and then with another thing. And then, if you are curious, that's enough. And then, of course, you need to have the possibilities. And I'm glad that my family always supported me, and I can have a piano. I mean, not everyone can have a piano, even they have the will to learn and the curiosity, of course, yeah. But if you have, if not, yeah, I could become just a singer or an actor. No, you just need your body and you don't need anything else. It's about the how much do you want to learn, and then just spending your time because you enjoy it. And I promise that I spend my life practicing. I don't do anything else. So people say, oh, you can dance, you can sing, you can play. Yeah, but I don't do anything else. I don't go out for parties, and sometimes, but mostly I spend time at home. Probably it can be like 8 hours, 10 hours just practicing my things. So in the end, yeah, I can do these things, but you could also, I promise. Also, it's about having good teachers in your life, and I did have a few really good teachers that gives you the strategies and how to be effective in some kind of things, and it helps, of course. But well, mostly it's about you want to do it, and then you spend your time, and then you can do it.
I think that's with a lot of art or most things, that what we see only is the end result. What we don't see is the hours and hours and hours and hours that someone's put into it. So someone who is just starting out, sometimes they put pressure on themselves by saying, oh, I'm not as good as that person, but they don't see what that person did to get there, which was, giving, putting, having fun with it, playing with it, and putting many hours of hard work into this. So that's the end result.
Yeah.
And I also thought that, it would probably be wonderful if we saw sometimes the route that people took to get to their where they are. I remember when we was in school and we were doing a assembly about a 10,000 meter runner. But instead of showing how he got the gold medal, we showed his training regime. So we showed him being sick. We showed him being upset. We showed him with the doubts. Oh, I can't do it. I'm not good enough. I'm not going to make it. We showed all that. And I thought that was really beneficial for the students to see what it took to get him there. Because there were some points he felt that he couldn't do it himself. He had his doubts. He had fears. He had the anxieties.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know about training and physical training, and you know what is it? This is the same. Well.
So how does a lot of your, I know you do the dance and the singing, how does that all come together with your piano playing?
Actually, when I was so young, I have also different thing in my brain, which usually happens to many people, which is that you get passionate with so many things, no? And then I wanted to learn this and that, and then you realize that everything helps each other, no? I mean, you learn the dance and you get your body trained, and the coordination, the spatial coordination, and then when you are about playing piano, then it helps also to have the, okay, I want to move my hand like this or like that, or in this moment or in that moment, and probably it's easier. And the opposite when you are dancing and you have the musical training, and from the mental training, and it also helps because you can count and you can understand the structures faster. So yeah, it actually both have, the dance has this thing of it's movement, but it's also rhythm, no? And music is, you have the rhythm and melody and harmony, which in dance you don't have it, but it's movement at the same time. So it really blend, no? They really blend, and it's useful. It's very useful. And
do you create some of your own music to which you dance to or you sing to?
Yes, I'm not. I don't really write my music. I don't compose like in a proper way, like writing the score. But yes, I create. Sometimes I create rhythms and melodies based on the tunes or the rhythms I play in my flamenco dance, for example. I learn some footwork, and then, no, for example, and it gives you ideas actually, or the opposite. No, I want to make a new footwork, and then I remember that tune from Prokofiev, and then I try to imitate with the feet, and yeah.
That reminds me of sometimes what I do with Annie. I will say, Annie, play this song. I really like this song, and it goes to this painting. And I can't describe exactly how it goes together, but I just feel this song goes with this painting. So I asked Annie to paint something according to how the song feels.
Who is playing? Sorry, you are playing.
No, so Annie's painting,
okay.
And I might hear a song by Miles Davis.
Okay.
But I can't describe in words the kind of painting I like. But this Miles Davis song sounds like the painting that I would like Annie to make. Okay. So then Annie has to go off and kind of decipher what she thinks I mean and paint this song. So yes, and I do that quite a lot with Annie. So I send her some music. I say, Annie, it sounds like this. Can you paint the
Like this?
colors of this song.
Yeah, actually that's really interesting. Like this is the question from the beginning of the history, where can music does music have a meaning, or can music represent things? And yeah, somehow it can. Of course, the language of the music is not something explicit, but somehow it makes your brain work in some way, and depending on the your previous experiences in your life, that music, Miles Davis, you said, is gonna create that kind of image, which is gonna be totally different of the one I'm gonna have, no? But yeah, there is this kind of transformation from sound to any other kind of construction, either words or pictures or whatever. That's really interesting. So what kind of do you usually do these kind of things? It's like
Yeah. So at the moment, Annie and I are working on a project, and so Annie's doing the artwork. I'm doing the text. So we're working on the artwork right now. So a lot of times I will send Annie the text with an image that I like or music. And I ask Annie to kind of, if she can put the idea, the sound I hear onto paint, into colors.
okay.
So we work that way, and yeah, I think it's fascinating because we go in different directions. And even yesterday, we had this conversation about where we were going with the painting. And so sometimes I don't know. I can feel it in my head what it looks like, but I don't have the words. But this song sounds like it.
Wow, that's amazing. It's like
Yeah.
you skip. Okay, that's great.
Yeah. So this song sounds like it. So Annie, can you listen to this song? And sometimes I've even said, can you listen to it in the evening or with some candles or whatever, just to get a feeling.
And then do you find any relation between what she paints and the words you finally write?
Well, I've written the words first.
Okay. Yeah.
So then Annie will take it and do the artwork, but many times she's done the art and I've changed something because I felt something with the work which has inspired me, something in the text. Or even what's happened a few times is Annie has drawn something and I have another idea for new text. So I think this kind of way, and I really enjoy working in this way. So Annie, how do you feel, Annie, sometimes when I say, oh, play this song and can you paint it?
I think at first it was quite daunting. I thought, oh God, can I do this? But it's become part of how we work. So now I think we work so synchronized now. So I can listen to the music and I see movement. I can feel, and then if Ron sends through text, then I read it through. And I guess I've become so familiar with the character now that I can kind of have an idea already of, how to illustrate how the character would be portrayed with this particular text. It's just evolved that way, I think, in that way. Yeah, so I'm quite visual. So if I listen or if I read, I already can create in my mind's eye. I see a lot of things, they'll come together. So I think that has really helped. And listening to Angela speak about, combining the dance with the music, absolutely, it makes 100% sense. And listening to music and it being emotive, even more so if it doesn't have singing. So with Miles Davis, it's purely the instruments. And you know, if you really, and even with your music, Angela, you close your eyes and you will create something. You know, it's so emotive and so changing. You know, you can really feel the energy of whoever's playing that. You really get an essence of that, and it's no different to reading, you know, that sort of thing. That, yeah, so we've become a lot more in sync, myself and Ron, and I guess in some ways you already have an idea of the character and how the character would be, you know, how she would color wise, her hair, her clothes. I guess they're different when you're acting and you're learning your character. And again, when you're learning a piece of music, you know, this is whether you've composed it or not, even more differently when you haven't composed it, because this is somebody else's writing, you know, so you are putting that part of them, but yourself into that, you know, so you can never 100% feel what that composer, that writer, what did that writer feel? We'll never, but we'll have our, as you so beautifully explained, we will already have our interpretation of it, of how it expresses through us. So that's always beautiful, because it will never be the same. It will never, two people will never have exactly the same expression or interpretation of something, which is that's the beauty, I think.
Yeah. And let me ask you, do you feel like you have like your own language also when you paint? And like I mean, yeah, this is,
yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, Angela, totally, because there are so many different ways that I can express, and my work is not always the same, yet you can use the same method. Does that make sense? So in doing the work with Ron, I specifically showed him the work I'd previously done, and because he's obviously seen what I've created with him, and it's a completely different way of illustrating, although the techniques are the same. So it's so wonderful to see myself evolve. So
actually,
that is the beautiful, yeah,
this is what I wanted to ask later. Do you feel like this language it's changing or evolving? That was the
so
point
when I showed Ron my work, I really wanted him to see it, because I wanted him to see what the opportunity he's given me to do this, and the way that I have moved forward, stretched myself. You know, he's always fantastic. If he is feeling something, he has such a beautiful way of saying, well, Annie, why don't we try this? You know, and it's always a gentle nudge, but fantastic, because I can see the journey, Angela. I'm sure you, and you too, Ron, you know, when you're working through something, that you see your start, and as you so beautifully put, the practice, you know, every day I do a little something, you know, every day, and that makes a difference, because no day is the same. No day, you know, and I can't replicate it, you know, it doesn't work, you know, it doesn't come out that way, because you are never the same every minute, every second, every hour, every day, you know. And I guess that's the, you know, again, the beauty of it, the beauty, because we're continually learning, we're continually changing, and if we roll with that, it, you know, beautiful things can come out of that. Absolutely. So it's wonderful to see how everything is, as you said, the same. You know, whether you're playing the piano, whether you're dancing, whether you're acting, whether you're reading, you know, or whatever. Practice is the key, you know, the dedication. And when you look at people that are top of their game, you know, they are people that are eat it, they breathe it, they sleep it, they walk it, they think it, you know, they are just that is it, you know, they become their craft. And
Yes.
that's where, you know, we see the, you know, the elite, the Olympians of that. And it's, you know, and I guess when you're playing, Angela, that is the beauty, because you've practiced. And Ron, if you're doing a character, because you've put so much into it, you have that beauty of showing it off like a peacock. Yeah, this is, you know, yeah, this is me, you know.
Yeah.
Absolutely, but not in a, you know, I don't mean it in a my head is so big way, but in a way that, yeah, I can share this with you, and this, look what I've done, you know, this is me.
Well, this doesn't happen every time to every person. Actually, I am quite insecure usually, even though, yeah, even I practice all the time, and I can get good results, but this is one of the things I have to work with. The insecurity is like every time I go onto the stage, it's like, oh, okay, let's breathe first. I'm not sure I'm gonna do it well, and this is a problem that comes from this system. And I don't know what kind of stories I heard when I was a kid, and about geniuses, and that you always have to do the things well, and you cannot, so that your parents are they don't get deception. And still I'm 42, and sometimes it happens to me like, I'm not sure if I'm doing it, is people gonna like it, is it, or sometimes it's about taste. No, I don't know my taste. For example, I don't know if, Ryan, when you came to watch, did you enjoy more when I do melodic things, like more, let's say, mainstream, or you also can enjoy when I do weird things? Because sometimes I get bored with the major chords and minor chords, and then I prefer to do strange chords. Sometimes I honestly, I want to make a major chord, and then I make a mistake, and then it's augmented chord. Okay, sometimes, but sometimes I do it on purpose because I want to get a different sound, or because the scene is some kind of weird or surrealistic or whatever. And then I'm not sure that the audience is also enjoying those kind of weird movements. And I don't know what is your feeling when you were watching my, or I don't even know, this is a double question, if because sometimes when I watch a movie, even I'm a musician, I watch the movie and then I don't even realize, oh, there was a music, because I'm just focusing on the images and the dialogue, and I don't even realize that there is music at the same time. So when you watch the movies, I don't really know where does your attention go, and what kind of things you enjoy more, and does it sound?
Well, firstly, the attention's on the movie, but to have you there playing, the sound is fresh, it's right here with you, and you're feeling, so scenes when you're going downstairs, we know it's you taking us down those stairs, and it's different sounds. And I think maybe even in one that if I can remember, when he got to the bottom of the stairs, you did a different sound to him going down the stairs. And just these sounds which were all very different. And we can hear it, you know, I think there's something to hearing music live. There is something about it. We are right there with you, going through it. And we see you picking up this, you're picking up this, then you're picking up this, and you're doing this. And sometimes we're looking at you and sometimes looking, but we're always in the movie, but we know that you're using different things. And what I thought was really wonderful for after watching was that you brought us into it as well. You showed us, you had the top open to the piano, and we could see for ourselves all this. So that was another part of it, which I thought added something really amazing to it. And I think afterwards I said, I'm coming to the next one. Because I think you opened our minds up. Firstly, you introduced us to a short film that I had not seen before. And then you introduced us to sound and how you use sound. And maybe the crazier, the better, I thought.
Okay.
Yeah. The crazier the better. And yeah, so I think I went back and afterwards, and I think I looked at some old short movies that you had recommended. See, it opened my eyes up to that as well. So not only was I introduced to film, introduced to a different way of the piano, but also it gave me ideas about what maybe I could do, which is if you can leave a performance inspired and you've learned something, what more can you ask, really?
Yeah. Did you actually have any idea for your texts or something from the movies themselves or the movies with the music or?
Well, I can right now. I just had a thought which I was going to call Annie about later on. I was going to say, Annie, how about what would it be like if we did a reading where we had the live music there going through the scenes and also having Annie's artwork on the screen. And I'm reading it with a live piano. And I was just thinking that 20 minutes ago. So
Wow.
that gave me an idea that I'm going to speak with Annie about later on. So that in itself, yes.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic. Great. Do you usually you perform? Do you show it?
No, at the moment. So I've been writing this book, this text, and Annie's doing the artwork. So we're going together. But I spoke with Annie a while ago about maybe doing live readings and showing her artwork as well. But how wonderful it would be if the readings were joined by a live music, but in your way with the different sounds.
Yes.
So thank you.
My pleasure. I'm so happy.
Angela, sorry, you made a comment because I feel exactly the same as you. I'm sure a lot of creative people are like that. Is this good enough? Oh my God, is this working? This looks awful. And something I came across the other day, I don't know if you're familiar, it's a very old English actor, new one to Dirk Bogarde, who's a very, I mean, he's passed away now, but I read something about him and it really surprised me because, again, you know, we think of people that are performing, people that are very familiar to us as never having these moments of, oh my God, I can't do it, you know, and I read that he had stage fright and he was never able to go back to the theatre and perform again. And I was like, oh wow, you know, that never occurred to me, you know, that an established actor of screen, you know, he was a very big, I think, late 50s, 60s, 70s. I'm not sure when he passed away, but it was like, oh my gosh, you know, I never think of, you know, people for me watching you, it would never enter my mind to think that Angela's thinking, oh my God, are they going to like it? Is this, you know, whatever. So, yeah, I think it's an ongoing thing of creative people that we always have that voice. Oh my God, are you good enough? Is anybody going to like this? Oh, yeah. So I think that's our cross to bear.
Well, that's an amazing story, and I guess it can happen, and it has to do with yourself. Like, how do you feel with yourself? The things that you see that you are usually doing, and the quality of the things you are doing, but also it has to do with how much do you care about your audience, and are you, because there is people they go onto the stage. Oh no, I don't think about the other audience at all. I just focus on my thing, and of course, some of them they don't even care if audience like, no. And so when you care too much about the audience, it's like, oh, actually I'm playing, and then if there is someone that I know in the audience is I'm playing, and then I'm thinking what this person is gonna be feeling. Is he gonna like it? Is he liking it or not? And yeah, I don't know this guy, what happens in some moment of his life so that he became like that again. No? Could be something with himself or something with the audience.
Yeah, totally. I don't know what happened with that old English actor, but he never performed again on stage. But yeah, I guess, you know, with anything, there's a fine line. So you can care about what the audience, but you know, it can become imbalanced where it it starts, you know, playing on your your mind, and that will totally affect anything else that you do. And then maybe some people are so detached that, you know, maybe they go out and they, you know, they see just nothing, you know, and they're just playing for themselves. I think there has to be an element of a balance of it, you know, that you're giving of yourself, but also, you know, you're looking after yourself as well. Yeah,
definitely.
So Angela, what tools have you used? I mean, so what mindset have you got into if you're just about to go on stage and the doubts rise? Are there things that you will say to yourself?
Well, it's very unpredictable. This kind of things. It's not like there is something that I know that it will work. If I try that morning, like if I do meditation, it's gonna work better. Or if no, it depends on how I wake up that morning. I'm thinking of these shows. Okay, I'm trying to remember when I was performing in Paradiso, and of course, the more I had practiced the movie, and the more clear the ideas were in my mind, the more quiet I could be on the stage. But and I usually try to breathe when I'm about to perform, because the oxygen, of course, and anyway, is good. Even there is the meditative part of it or not, just the oxygen is good. And I just try to, for me, the key is to be sure, because I have been practicing a lot, and then I know the movie, and I'm quite flexible with my fingers because I've been practicing. But if that morning and suddenly I wake up, and then I try before going to Paradiso, and then okay, let's try to make one run from the beginning to the end, and then I make a mess. That can be horrible. And then I go to the stage like insecure. Oh no, I forgot that I was planning to do. It's very dangerous mind. The mind is very dangerous. But with I remember at the first 2 or 3 shows, I was really nervous every time. And then after a while, you become also used to that, and the hormones and everything. The levels of your chemical stuff, you get used to that also. So this is also practicing to be on the stage, and the more you are on the stage, the more quiet you can be, and more relaxed. But I'm not the best person to give advices about how to get confidence and how to. No, I'm the worst, actually.
I think maybe in these things, it's if you can just do the one thing, which is get across your love of whatever it is that you're doing. And if you can do that, you can't fail, can you? You've done the best you can do. You've given your all, and you try to express your joy of creating. And from there, any mistakes don't matter, because you did your best. You did what you could. And even in the mistakes, if you've put across your joy of creating, then that's success.
Yes. And actually the audience can feel that also. And I'm always thinking like that. No, don't worry. The audience is not going to be thinking, oh, did she make a mistake? No, they are feeling how much you put from yourself, and the human side behind the artistic stuff. You see also that there is a human trying to do their best, and it's a lot. And luckily, audience is always like that. It's also human, and it's also good. And
Well, I think we'll leave it there for today. So Angela, thank you very much. I would love to bring you back on again for a second part to go into some of the other stuff that you do that we haven't done yet. So I would love to do that.
Yeah, actually, yes, there is many things we didn't talk about, and this is very interesting, actually.
Thank you. And Annie, thank you again, Annie, for sharing with us what you do, your work, and what you go through, and what you've learned as well. So thank you very much, Annie.
Thank you, Ron, and thank you, Angela.
Yeah,
thank you,
Ali, as well. It's very inspiring also to see how you work and what is in your mind. And
yeah, so that's the aim. I think I begin the show at the beginning that maybe we can all learn from each other and inspire each other. And I've been inspired in this show, and I'm going to call Annie later on about an idea which came about the show. So that's the aim. So thank you, Angela, and we'll chat soon, and we'll get together another date and time.
Sure. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Okay. So thank you for watching Ron Usha Conversation on Art, show number 15. Grand Rising Angela, Grand Rising Annie, and thank you very much.
Grand Rising.